Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Spirit
I'm Alma,
Bubble. I know, Kara.
and we're back to start talking to you today. It's been just a couple days since the new year, right?
I hope
How's
everyone's
your
had a really good one.
Me too, me too. It's
Yeah.
it's a cup just a few days in and hopefully everybody's off to a good start.
Yes, originally we weren't really going to be doing any major celebrating or, parties or anything, but then we just decided to go ahead and grab our own little party snacks and have a little two-man party on the couch watching TV.
That's pretty awesome. That's a way to start the new year,
Yeah.
togetherness and love and fun. That's a great way to ring in the new year.
Yeah. What about yourself?
We did much of the same. We enjoyed our electronics up till midnight, and then about 10 till we all gathered around downstairs in the living room and turned on YouTube to watch the ball dropping. And and then when 10 seconds counted down, we counted down and cheersed our cups of pop at midnight. So it was
Oh.
our little family celebration. Scared the cats though. Oh my gosh, this was their first New Year's. So
Oh, it
us
was.
Yes, so us screaming our heads off kind of scared them silly.
Oh my gosh. Oh, poor kitties. They'll
Oh
get used to
yeah,
it though. They'll get
that's
used to
the
it.
hope.
Oh, I've got my new poster up, guys.
I see that. I love it. That's an
Yes.
awesome Christmas gift.
Yeah. Definitely it adds some color to my background now. You've got your colors going there with lights. I've got a little bit of color now, a little bit of variation. So
I like it. It works.
yes. Surprise. Yes.
So, so today we were thinking of talking about how to find balance in an out of balance world, which to me is a really good thing to dive into because a lot of things are kind of wonky about our world, right? And
Oh yeah.
a big part of your life's journey is learning how to stand tall in a wonky world. And so it's a process of finding yourself and realizing how you view the world to walk better in it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm gonna hear some noises there. Yes. Well, it's kind of distracting right now. Anyway, yeah, finding like if you just turn on the news, you're gonna find that there's uh, a lot of stuff. Oh, wow, the sound of water is totally distracting me. Like, way bad. Maybe if I okay, maybe if I put my headphone all the way on. There we go. Maybe that'll be better. But yeah, finding balance in an out of balance world. It seems like every day we find something else that just adds to the calamity and the chaos that has been happening. Talking about, like, for example, our own city, getting more and more dangerous. We keep hearing more gunshots in neighborhoods closer than what we would like it to be. We keep hearing about the news of deaths, about robberies and stuff. So much negative stuff happening. And, I know a lot of people want to see more positive, you know?
Hmm.
And so, in that search for positive, and then we're getting bombarded by all this negative, it seems like nothing is going to get better because we're seeing rising prices. We're seeing higher cost of living. We're seeing more struggles for jobs and stuff. And sometimes it just feels unfair that that negativity is really outweighing us and making it harder to see that positive, you know?
It really does. It's overwhelming at times because that just seems to be the majority of what you're witnessing in reality is that negativity, and so much of it is advertised and shared, and it's just really, it becomes this dominant presence in your life that you have to learn to contend with.
In fact, one of the things that I notice whenever I read posts about how to be a more positive person, one of the advice that I commonly see is don't watch the news.
Absolutely. It's the news used to be about telling the truth about what was going on, but now these days the news is about selling you something. They're trying to make money and they're trying to spin agendas. And if if the news isn't telling us what's really happening, why watch it to weigh yourself down to think things are worse than what they really are? Because when I go out in the world, I'm I'm not seeing all that negativity that everyone's saying is out there. I don't go out in the world all that often, but I do know that when I do, I'm greeted with a lot of goodness in people and social interactions. So it leads me to believe that there's some kind of discrepancy between what we're seeing broadcast to us about the state of the world and what the actual state of the world really is.
Yeah, and I really fully believe that, because I think that a lot of the news likes to distract us from things too. It's like the news is less of a local celebration and it's more of a contest for attention.
Mhm. Oh, absolutely. I agree. And not just in the news for attention, but us as people want that attention. Because think of social media, how many of us are crying out our own news and like bearing our souls online to share our perspectives about what's going on. So even timelines of Twitter and Facebook, you get the updates of your friends and everybody. And I'm curious, in your experience, what are your timelines like? Are they positive or are they negative?
I would say most of it has been positive and inspirational because of the links and the photos that I save off of it. Like I run into a lot of quotes actually. Um, and I have friends. You know how like when you are one kind of person, you attract the same to you. The law of attraction. I think it's brought an attraction to people who were similarly interested in having the same inspirational type of motivation. That's what I have
I
personally been seeing.
Yes, I believe that. The energy that you put out there is what you attract. So if you, and you being a positive minded person, you're going to attract people to you that are positive minded. So you'll get more of that in your day to day. So to those that feel like overwhelmed by negativity, maybe reflect on what you're putting out there because you might be attracting negative happenings by taking a negative approach to life. And maybe a readjustment is needed to kind of balance yourself and center on what's really going on in the moment so you can lead forward in a positive way.
And you really, that's one of the ways that we can start to instill a sense of balance back into the world in the middle of all this. We can be the people that make the change. Because
Hmm.
it's like that phrase, be the change you want to see, right? So, if we want to
Absolutely.
see more positivity in this world and we want to see more inspiration and motivation, we have to be that. We have to represent it, even when it feels like nobody else is paying attention. I guarantee you, somebody is.
Absolutely. I totally agree. You have to live it. You have to live that choice and be that positive force. First, you can't expect others to change if you're not willing to change yourself. And so the first step in any journey is making sure you got yourself secured for the journey, which is writing your perspective and finding a gentler way to view reality so you can put out positive energy and attract the positive happenings that you wish to have.
Yeah. And you're going to see a lot of the negative. You're going to notice more of the negative when you go into that mindset trying to be that change in the world because there's going to be a lot of defiance. People who may only see the world going downwards, so they're going to accept it only going downwards. You're going to see a lot of forces going against you, but the thing is, you have to be strong against those forces to break through it first.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. And so it it takes practicing that choice, that positive choice to be that energy in the moment over and over. And then as you get more comfortable embracing that positive energy, you'll notice more people attracting to that positive energy you're putting out there, which then gives you a brighter look at the world around you because you're not just seeing only the negative. Now you're getting the negative in the light of the good, which is which is the whole picture that you want to see in the first
Yeah.
place, right?
The balance that we lack. Yeah. It's
Hmm.
creating balance back in there. You know, for every negative force that we see in the news and on TV and in people around us, we have to try our best to equally represent that on the positive.
Hmm. We were just talking in my house about this physics rule or some kind of science thing that says
Oh.
for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction, which is basically balance, right? If something
Mm
good happens, there's also something bad out there that's equally out there.
hmm. Mm
So
hmm.
by learning to focus on the positive, you're not saying that the negative doesn't exist. You're just giving enough weight to the positive that you can balance your perspective out.
So maybe given that, and this is kind of a thought that I had earlier too, given that idea, you know that the world we see a lot of the negative. Would you say that there's a lot of the positive that's just not being highlighted?
Absolutely. I mean, just think of where we are in history. We are 8 billion strong people living alive on this planet. Keeping that many people alive is a success. Like we're doing some things right. Food is easy to come by. We have health care. We have
Mm-hmm.
homes that keep us safe from the elements. We have technology that makes life easier. I mean, there's all these good things that are abundantly available, which with the offside that everything costs money and it's hard to get. So,
Yeah.
you know, so that's the balance. You can see the good, that good stuff really is happening, but you recognize that there's faults there too that need to be fixed or need to be paid attention to make better.
Right, and I feel like the spiritual community has grown as well too.
Oh, I think so too. Like, I just think there's been a big wave of like an awakening where people are realizing the lives they're leading aren't leading to fulfillment or anything that's happy making. They're left with everything they were supposed to have in life, and still they don't have the happiness to go with it. And I think that's when people start to turn inward to figure out what's wrong with me. Why can't I be happy when I have everything I thought I needed? And that's when the spiritual journey begins, when you
Mm.
turn inward to get your answers instead of finding them out in the world.
I almost even started pondering whether or not that's the reason why we're seeing more chaos. Is that in the rise of the spiritual awareness, the chaos has to rise with it?
Absolutely. As high as you go, so goes down below, right?
Mm-hmm.
So while the positive side is awakening to higher and higher heights of goodness and happiness and all those positive things, the negative side is falling down deeper into the dark of the dark. So we're going both ways. And somehow, in my mind, I believe in utopia and I believe in coming from this dystopian life that we have, we can put the pieces together and solve the puzzle to have a happy society. Now, maybe it's not this year, maybe not even 50 years from now, but maybe down the road when enough chaos has been caused to make us realize that we can be nice and help one another. I think that's when the world's really going to change.
Right, so it's like a level of chaos that has to occur. It's like a level of awareness. We are building up to that awareness, and it looks like the world is a lot more negative. In a sense, yes, there is deeper negative things happening. But you have more people who are becoming also equally more positive, even if they don't know how to express it, or they don't know how to feel, or they may be confused about it right now, you know?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think I just have this hope in my heart that my perspective is right and seeing that there is a rise in people out there trying to better themselves to be better for others. And so with more people out there bettering themselves, it like you said, there will be defiance against that positive light because there are some that are just so grounded in their negativity that they don't believe positive is possible. So that's where the defiance comes in, and you'll see those dark aspects of people's selves coming out, right? That
Yeah,
exists. It exists in all of us, but
yeah,
some of us choose to try to see the lighter side of being instead of shining darkly. So, my hope is as we continue to grow in our awareness of positive energy, it'll help those that are defiant in their darkness to feel
yeah,
better. Because, at the end of it, I want everybody to feel good.
yeah,
So
yeah,
like I don't care how your good has to manifest as long as everybody gets to feel good and not hurt others. That's what I'm aiming for, right? So
yeah,
I keep searching internally in my darkness and my shadow self to find the answers to why others might be acting in their shadow self. Because I mean, after all, we're all on the same page, right?
yeah, true. I, I've, kind of a little bit different stance on the whole utopia thing. Like, I think that yes, we could get close if we all put in the energy and effort, but I also do feel like there is an end and a reset of times too, you know?
Oh, I believe that too,
Yeah.
definitely. Like I I I think everything has a life cycle, a timeline that it follows. And so from beginning to end, I think there's a natural end to our universe, to our world, to our stories. Like I believe that an ending comes to everything. That's part of what's baked into this experience we're having. Everything
Mm-hmm.
has a death. And so um in light of everything coming to an end, that's where I think the most drastic change will happen. When
Mm-hmm.
people realize how bad it's getting, that's when they'll find the courage to come together and work together to make a change, hopefully in time.
Yeah, it's like a boiling point. There's only so high that you can get, and you have to reach that boiling point before you can even make that massive amount of change, you know?
Mhm. Absolutely. I call it I in one of my wild, like, days, I called it like a pressure cooker. Like, it was like life on Earth was the pressure cooker to kinda help shape you and form you into exactly what you need to be because you're so under stress and tension your whole life just trying to get through it. And so it felt like a pressure cooker.
Oh, okay. So you think that maybe these times that we are living in, this chaos and this negativity that seems to be on the rise, kind of is that pressure cooker working right now. That
Absolutely.
while we in enlightenment we are rising, so is that pressure. Because you have to
Mhm.
carry that balance, and then once it all just gets as far as it can go, that's when the end is going to happen and we're going to start back, you know?
Yep. I agree wholeheartedly that it it rises until the end and then we restart and the cycle starts over. And my hope, not knowing what comes next, is just that this ending of this cycle is the end of suffering. Like my heart just rings with peace without pain. Like that's what I hope for the world. And so many are living suffering and hurting. And
Mm-hmm.
it's just if we could just turn it around and stop some of that, this world could be so great. There's so many people to get to meet, to get to know, to get to experience. We should be living happily, not
Yeah.
stressed out to the max because we can't afford to pay our bills and afford the cost of life. That just
Yeah.
seems like we're going in the wrong direction, you know?
Yeah. I don't know, or maybe the wrong direction is actually the right direction, and it's just we have to learn how to see it in the right angle.
That's very true. Perspective, it's the greatest gift there is. You know, how to
Yeah.
see things in the right light.
Yeah. I mean, because look at this. You and I, we live in this world in the state that it's in. And yet, we are in a personal position ourselves to make a difference where it matters the most.
I agree. How perfect is that? How
Yeah.
awesome is that?
Because it's like even if we are towards the end, we know that the end is going to be the most chaotic. So, what do? You bring out your strongest forces to help carry people through it. Well, doesn't that classify us as a part of that?
Oh, absolutely. Isn't absolutely it does.
Yeah. So, um, really and truly, in order to help balance everything that's going on, we have to be we have to shine as bright as we possibly can for others, even if it doesn't look like it's making a difference, even if you can't see the difference in front of your face. It's probably making a difference once they went home, you know.
Yep, I agree. The the difference you make by choosing to embody the positive, it's it's effortless to notice once you get down that path. In the beginning, it's hard to see the changes that are
Mm-hmm.
happening. But then as you get farther down the road, you realize where all the light is going in your moments to help other people. And then that light shines back at you for getting to help people, for being able to be there for them. I mean, there's a lot of good feels that come for thinking of others.
Yeah, definitely. So, if we want to talk about how we can bring that balance, we can bring that balance back by being equally as positive as the negative that we see. You turn on the news and you see nothing but like crime. Well, why not be the opposite force of that? Stand up and give people a reason to believe in life and believe in the world and believe to carry on, instead of giving up within all this negative energy that's happening. Give them a reason to think that there is hope, to know that there is hope.
I like that. I like that a lot. To be the hope bringer for somebody else just by being yourself and carrying positive energy with you wherever you go, you can be that source of hope because as you are shining in your light as a source of positive energy, just by living your truth, you're making a difference in the world. You're being the change you wish to see in the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's that positive force we're talking about.
Yeah, definitely. It all comes to positivity and love.
Hmm. It it does
The
seem to boil
answer
down to that all the time.
It's the answer, it's the purpose, it's the reason for things, it's the core of things. So, how can we fight all this negativity, guys? We can fight the negativity by being positive and loving others. And while, okay, so that might not bring people who suffered back to life, but you know what? It can bring hope to those that lost those people. It can bring
Mhm.
hope to those that are suffering at the financial struggles as the price of living rises. It
Mm.
can help inspire others to be the answer for other people after them and make their day and give them a smile so that way they can say, okay, well, all this is happening, but you know what? I encountered this amazing person and they said something so nice that made me feel good. I want to remember that.
Yep, that's how you do it. That's exactly how you do it. I love that. It's so simple. It doesn't take much other than just like you said, be positive, be loving. If you can handle those two concepts, then you can make a difference in the world in really
Mm-hmm.
meaningful ways by impacting the people you cross paths with, by impacting yourself, right? It just
Mm-hmm.
it's a good way to give back to the universe, I think, and
But
just
yeah.
sharing. Yeah, by sharing that love and positive energy with others.
By being the light that helps to brighten a dark world.
I like
Just be the
that.
light. Choose to
Yeah.
be the light.
Shine on.
Yes, definitely. However, we're at like 25 minutes now, so we're gonna go ahead and cut it off here.
Oh,
But
wow.
I know, right? But if you guys have a story about like where your positivity really made more of a difference than you thought it would, share it with us. We want to share positivity. That's how we're going to make this world brighter and better.
I agree. We'd love to hear your stories and everything you've done to bring light to the world. And if you've got time, like and subscribe.
Yes. Thank you so much for joining us on this discussion. It was so much fun, as it always is, to get with you, Alma.
And with you, Cara, I appreciate the
Yes.
chance.
And thank you, everyone who does follow and listen and watch and who just really takes in. We are so grateful for you guys.
Yes, we are. Thank you so much.
Yes, until next time, you guys shine on and have a lovely day.